Hello. I been wanting to make a video for quite some time. I am on some online groups, some Facebook groups, and I find myself trying to explain this over and over to individuals who have just come out of a timeshare presentation. So instead of taking every opportunity to respond to everyone that I see in this situation, I just wanted to make a video that I could post it so that I could say it once and just give everybody a reference point somewhere to go. And the other things I can explain throughout other videos. I plan on doing hopefully several. But the first one I want to do is something I found myself doing over the last year and a half, is every time someone comes online, they've just gotten out of a timeshare presentation and they're excited about their new purchase for their timeshare. And I remember doing that myself. We went down to Smoky Mountains, and the first thing I need to tell you is they didn't let us stay in the resort. They usually don't let you stay in the resort. They want to show you the resort, but they want you to stay in a middle of the line kind of hotel, so that you can stay in the hotel and wish that you were in the resort. So we went into the resort, and I was ill prepared for this experience 15 years ago. There was a guy, he said he was a former teacher. I believe it. He was very good at presenting. He was very good at explaining. He was very good at teaching. And I believe through many years of refining their script, they had it down. And my wife and I, after 3 hours of being bombarded with these terms, we didn't feel like we understood the whole thing, but they assured us that we didn't have to understand the whole thing. It was a great deal. And we decided that we would look into this. So we said, we can't afford what you're offering us. They started like $40,000, went down to $20,000. And through lots of negotiation and a lot of time, they finally brought us a contract that was, I believe it was $7,000. Now, I had no idea what I was buying. I knew it was a timeshare. I knew that it had points, and that's about all I knew. And I said, so with this, I'll be able to vacation the way I want. No, absolutely, absolutely. With this, you can take a vacation every year. So I got home and I started doing my due diligence, because in this 3-hour presentation, you have no time to look any of this up. So you have to do it afterwards. But they tell you at the presentation, if you walk out today, we can't ever offer it to you again, which I find hard to believe, but that's what they tell you. That's what they told me. And they said this deal will go away if you walk out. Matter of fact, sometimes they have you sign a piece of paper that you're refusing the deal and that you understand that it's a one-time deal and that you'll never get that opportunity again. So if they do, sign the paper and walk out. But anyway, I didn't. I walked out with a new timeshare for $7,000 or so. I went back and I looked and I started doing my due diligence and started to get online and thought, that was a huge expense. I want to know what I just purchased. Well, I got online and I found a website with people who already owned and people who already knew about this. And one of the gentlemen there said, you have time now to do your due diligence, to understand what you bought, and to consider whether you want out. Because after that time runs out, you cannot easily get rid of your ownership. You can't just simply hand it back to the person who sold it to you. And I thought, what is that? And he said, look in your contract under the point that says rescission, how to rescind. And I looked at it, and there was a series of steps. And in a lot of cases, it's 10 days. Now, you have to look at your own contract, because depending on where you signed the contract, you may have different terms. But all states have a rescission period. So hopefully you're doing your due diligence within that time frame, and we're having this conversation to see if you want to keep what you walked out of the timeshare presentation with. They had 3 hours to present all of this in a way that convinced you to purchase your timeshare. I'm going to try in the next few minutes to talk to you about why I feel like it may not be worth it to you to keep what they sold you. Timeshare, I like the product. Really do like the vacation. They have some beautiful, beautiful resorts, and I like to vacation in style. I like to vacation at these resorts. And I'll be upfront and honest with you. I do own Timeshare, okay, but I did not buy it from the timeshare companies. That's the big secret. That's what I'm going to share with you in the next couple of minutes, okay? When you buy from the companies, you're buying from the developer. You're buying from the people who make the units, who have spent time developing the units. And when you do that, they give you extra perks, extra things. Now, when they talk about the extra things, basically what that ends up being is a travel club. You know, in my timeshare, they have points. They have a point chart. And this is your currency in a timeshare. The more points you have, the more vacation you can afford at the better resorts. Okay. But everything else, everything that's not the primary currency at your timeshare, all the other stuff ends up being a travel club. Now, the travel club perks you can only buy from your developer, and some of them are nice. We have hot weeks, hot weeks for 3,000 points. Turns out to be a very good deal. But there are some other parts of it that are not so good deals. Cash Mart, it's where you're paying cash for perks. Well, I bought points. Why would I then turn around and hand them cash? I don't know. Point Smart is sometimes not a great deal because you have points up here to use for your vacation, but if you use them down here for other traveling perks, it's not such a good deal. And I'll do other videos to let you know about that stuff. But what I'm trying to say is a large portion of what you went over in that timeshare presentation is a travel club. And believe me, with the .coms out there on the computer, Travelocity and stuff like that, you can get reservations, you can get car rentals, you can get hotel stays for a lot less than you're getting them from your timeshare. So don't buy a timeshare to be a member of a travel club. Just join a travel club or look on .coms for your best rates. Okay, buy a timeshare to use your points in a resort, a very nice resort, and that's the way we do this. Now, I would think that timeshare is a great deal. The problem is there's a difference between buying from the developer and buying from other owners. When you buy this, they may tell you or they may not tell you. You can sell your timeshare. Absolutely. And they use the term investment sometimes. This is not an investment. I know no way to make a lot of money at timeshare. Okay. This is an emotional investment in your family and in your vacations, but it's not a financial investment that I'm aware of that anybody can make just a ton of money at. But you can absolutely lose a fortune in timeshare. Okay. So if you buy from the developer, they're going to sell you points. Points equals time in a timeshare. So when they do this, they'll sell you so many points for money. So let's say it's 3 points for $1, or no, $3 for a point, more like today's market. So anyway, let's say you want 20,000 points. 20,000 being a nice week-long vacation, 2 bedrooms in a nice resort. 18 to 20,000 points for a complete week for some resorts. Okay. So you get this 20,000 points and you're going to pay $3 a point for your cost. $3, 3 times 20 is $60,000. Okay. You're buying from the developer and they're offering you 20,000 points for $3 and you're coming out with $60,000. Now they're like, don't worry about it because your credit says that you can afford to pay for that because we're going to give you a loan. You're like, I can't afford that. But they say, oh yeah, we already took your credit. You have been pre-approved for a loan, which shocked me at the time, 15 years ago. They were pre-approving a loan for $7,000 and it was instantaneous. And I thought to myself, how can they do that? Well, what are they selling you? Points. You can't damage points. You can't use them up. And there's nothing you can do on your own to take those points home and depreciate the value. So if you default on this loan, they just take your points back and sell it to somebody else. It really is a no-lose proposition for them. So of course they're going to give you a loan. It's not like they're giving you a loan for a car that's going to depreciate and they won't be able to sell the car for what they have into it. Okay, so they end up giving anybody with a pulse and a social security number a loan for that amount of money. So I would not take out a loan for a developer. Absolutely not. That's kind of your worst case scenario because you're paying interest on this loan to pay for $60,000 worth of points. No, don't do that. So when you take it home, you have this recension period. Okay, during that recension period, these points are worth this amount. Why? Because you can give them back and get rid of this amount during your recension period. 10 days, mostly. Most of the time, look at your contract. Because right after that 10 days is up, your 20,000 points is probably worth less than $2,000. Now, something's only worth what you can sell it for. So go right now to eBay and look up whatever timeshare you own, look up however much you bought, and make sure you're comparing apples to apples because there's this annual and biannual for my timeshare. But you can look up your timeshare, make sure you're comparing the right things, and see how much it's going for on eBay. Okay, now when you call or you talk to the people at your timeshare, they're going to say, oh, but don't forget about all the benefits of buying it our way. Benefits, really. $2,000, $60,000. You're telling me that your travel club is worth that? That's the benefits of your travel club? How many free nights could you pay for in that sum? Okay. Now, one of my benefits in my travel club is a free cancellation. They charge you $30 to cancel your reservation, or you get a free cancellation. How many $30 cancellations can you pay for with that? So I'm going to tell you, or I'm going to suggest to you that travel club benefits are not worth the difference between retail and resell. Sorry, resell. They're not worth it. Whatever points package you bought, do the math. You say you bought 12,000 points instead of 20,000 points, and you bought 12,000 points for $36,000. How much is the 12,000 points worth? Probably less than 2,000. So you can do the math there. and you're saying that your travel club benefits are worth $34,000. Really? Because the travel club benefits is the difference between buying it from the developer or buying it from eBay. I'm not saying timeshare is bad. Okay? Buy timeshare. But this is the big secret. Buy resell. Okay, and they're going when you go back to the sales presentation, they're going to try to sell you up. They're going to try to sell you up to the next level of whatever it is they have to sell. And always juxtapose what they're selling you with what you can sell it for. Okay, now here's another secret with my timeshare. They can sell this to you and you get all the benefits. But if I sold it to you, they would take that benefits package away because benefits don't transfer. So when you think you're buying $60,000 worth of whatever level that you've achieved with all of these options, none of those options, if you decide to sell to your neighbor for even $15,000, $20,000, none of those options are going to transfer in that deal. You can't sell the options. You can only sell points. So what are the points worth? The points are worth what you can sell them for at resale. How do you know what they're worth? Look on eBay. Look online. See how much they're worth. Now, in many cases, and I've done this, many cases you can get points out there not from retail and not from resale. A lot of times you can find people out there who are dissatisfied with their ownership. They don't want to pay the yearly maintenance fees. They're not using what they own. They don't know how to get out of it, which there is no good way out of it. You can either sit around and wait for somebody to pay you, or you can give it away. Now, there's another point. If you bought it at retail, you have to either sell it at resale or you give it away. Now, what's the better scenario? You spend $36,000 and sell it for $2,000 or give it away, or you buy it at resale, spend $2,000, sell it at resale and get $2,000, or at resale price, you might be able to afford just to give it away. There's a lot of people out there that are giving it away. So that's where I've gotten a lot of my points from. And when I'm through with them, what do? I sell them or I give them away. Okay. Now, nobody gets out of maintenance fees. Maintenance fees, everybody, there's no secret to maintenance fees. But the big secret to timeshare, in my opinion, is to buy resell, sell resell, or give them away. Now, there are people out there willing to give you their membership right now. You just have to go online and hunt for them. You know, if you hear somebody that's dissatisfied with, and they'll tell you, they'll say, I have this ownership and I can't use it and I don't know how to get rid of it. Then you just kind of show up and ask them, hey, would you be interested in giving it away? My particular timeshare has a $500 transfer fee. I've gotten 20,000 points given to me just because I paid the transfer fee. And that happens. If you look for it, it could happen every week, every day. So that's what I wanted to tell you. That's what I wanted to record. So if you have questions, let me know. But I have such a hard time explaining this online, and it's such a long post every time. Thought I would go ahead and record it. And I can make some recordings about the other things as well. But the biggest secret in timeshare, buy, resell.